So, okay, Ayushi, can you see the screen? Ayushi, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, so today we are going to start physical and chemical change. So, can you tell me, Ayushi, from your general knowledge, what do you know about physical change and chemical change?
Ma'am, physical change means the change um, which done naturally, and chemical change which is made by human in the nature. The changes made by humans.
Okay, can you give me some examples?
Ma'am, like physical changes growing the plant, it's the nature, and ma'am, the chemical changes. Uh,
Hmm? What is the chemical change?
like humans are using acids to make the fruits.
Okay, I got it. So, can you tell me, Ayushi, in the physical change, can we get the product back again? Or in chemical change, we can get the product back
Yes,
again?
yes, ma'am. Can you repeat?
I'm telling, in the physical change can be recovered or chemical change can be recovered.
Ma'am, I think physical change can be.
Yes, obviously, because physical change is called reversible change, right? And it is also called temporary change. And also, physical change is called reversible change. Why? Because Amra, what we know about reversible, like it can go and it can again come, right? Reversible means this, right? It is not permanent change. Reversible means it is temporary. Okay. So chemical change will be irreversible and chemical change will be permanent. Okay. Understood, Ayushi?
Yes,
So this two definition difference you have to give that in physical change, no new substance are getting formed and it is reversible and temporary. In the exam, if you write these 2 points, the teacher is bound to give you numbers. Okay. So you have to mention this point. And you also have to say that in physical change, change in shape, change in size, change in physical state, it remains constant. Okay. So can you read, Ayushi, what is physical change and what is chemical change?
physical change, a change in which only the physical properties of a substance change. For example, change in shape, size, position, or physical state. But the chemical composition remains the same, is called a physical change. Ma'am,
Okay.
will I read the examples?
Yes, sure, obviously, because in
This
the
change,
exam also, they will give you some examples, okay? And they will ask you whether it's a chemical change or it's a physical change. Okay.
these changes are mostly reversible and temporary. No new substance is formed in physical changes. Some examples are stretching of a rubber band, melting of wax, melting of ice, hammering metals into sheets, etc.
Okay, now chemical
Chemical
change.
change. Chemical change. The changes that involve changes in composition and chemical properties are called chemical changes. These changes are irreversible and permanent. A new substance is formed in chemical changes. Some examples are the formation of curd from milk, digestion of food, burning of crackers, and change in color of sliced pieces of fruit, etc.
Okay, did you understood this point, Ayushi? Why it is called physical change, why it is called chemical change? Okay, because in chemical change, the product cannot be brought back to the original state, right? But in physical state, we can bring back the product to the original state. Suppose we all know candles, right? So if the wax is melting, okay, and if we collect the wax, and again if we try to make a candle, again we can make a new candle out of the wax, right? Understood? Wax means moam, okay? Hammer, melting of ice. This is a very common example of physical change, that ice can be brought down to liquid, and again if the liquid is condensed, it will again be brought back to ice. Am I right? Okay, now we are going to read about chemical reactions as chemical change. So we are going to learn about some chemical reactions which brings about chemical changes. Okay, now can you see this picture, Ayushi? So what we are doing is that we have taken a magnesium ribbon. Here we have taken a magnesium ribbon. You can see this here. This is called a magnesium ribbon. And
Ma'am,
what
in
we are
my
doing,
book, this picture is there.
it is there, na? Okay. So we have taken a magnesium ribbon, and what we are doing with it? We are burning it, right? In the presence of air, we are burning it, like we are doing combustion, right? So what it does? It represents a chemical change in the magnesium ribbon. So magnesium with reacts with oxygen give us magnesium oxide. Understood? So we cannot create magnesium and oxygen again from magnesium oxide. Once magnesium oxide has been created, we cannot get back to this product again. Understood?
Yes.
So, when we mix magnesium oxide in water, it forms a new solution. We call it magnesium hydroxide. Previously, we have read in the acid bases chapter, right? So, whenever we dissolve something in water, what it forms? It forms a hydroxide. And hydroxide is a base because it consists of OH minus ion that we call hydroxyl ion, right? So what will be the new reaction? The magnesium oxide is getting reacted with water, giving us magnesium hydroxide. Okay. So a chemical reaction takes place when vinegar is mixed with baking soda to give carbon dioxide. So you have seen vinegar, right? A liquid looks like water, and baking soda, it's a powder. So when you will mix both of it, what will come out as a gas? Carbon dioxide will come out. So in chemistry, we say vinegar as acetic acid. We do not say vinegar, we say acetic acid reacts with baking soda. So the chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. And on both of these reacting together, it gives us carbon dioxide and some other substance. Understood? Now this one is also very famous reaction. When carbon dioxide is passed, actually when this gas means when carbon dioxide is passed through the solution of lime water, it turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate. Understood? So here it is a solution of vinegar and baking soda, right? So from vinegar and baking soda, which gas is coming out? Ayushi?
Yes.
From vinegar and baking soda, which gas is coming out? Carbon dioxide, you see?
Carbon.
Yes. So from here, the carbon dioxide is getting traveled, okay, from here. And in this test tube, what we are putting? We are putting a lime water. We are putting lime water. So whenever the carbon dioxide, which has been evolved from this test tube, it is traveling and it is coming in this test tube. What it is doing? It is converting the lime water into milky test. Understood? So this is a chemical reaction. So here, four examples are given. One with magnesium and oxygen. One when magnesium oxide reacts with water. One when vinegar reacts with baking soda. Another one is when carbon dioxide is reacting with lime water. Any doubts? Tell me, I will explain it again. Any doubts, Ayushi?
Ma'am, can you repeat the magnesium oxide, that one?
Okay. So I'm starting from first only. So you have taken a magnesium ribbon, right? And you are burning it in air, like in presence of oxygen, you are burning it, right? So when magnesium burns in presence of oxygen, what does it forms? It forms magnesium oxide. Okay. So when we mix this magnesium oxide with water, when we mix this magnesium oxide with water, we get a new solution whose name is magnesium hydroxide. Understood?
Yes.
Again, what? Again, a new compound we are taking. We are taking vinegar and baking soda, which is giving us carbon dioxide gas. And that same carbon dioxide gas is used in turning the lime water milky. Okay? Um, Understood, Ayushi?
Yes.
Okay, any doubts you ask me, I will explain again.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
this was the reaction. Carbon dioxide got reacted with the lime water and it was forming calcium carbonate and water in this tube. Okay, now this one, Ayushi read from here till here and you will explain me what did you understood from this.
When we place an iron nail in a copper sulfate solution, the color of the solution changes to green due to the formation of a new substance, ferrous sulfate. Copper sulfate solution, blue plus iron. Iron sulfate solution, green plus copper, brown deposit. Hence, chemical reactions are also called chemical changes, where one or more substances are formed in addition to new products. The following may accompany a chemical change: heat, light, or sound. For example, the burning of crackers produces light and sound.
Okay, what did you understood from this? Ayushi, explain me.
Ma'am, if I put an iron nail on a copper sulfate solution, the color will change into green
Hmm.
because copper
Sulfate
in
color
blue.
is blue. Okay, so on placing the iron, we are getting green. Okay, because color of copper sulfate is blue naturally. Okay, next.
Then for new substance, we get the color change. Then on the copper sulfate solution equals to means blue. Uh, you have tell this now.
Hmm? Okay,
Ma'am, the-
now you forgot to tell me one thing. This iron will have something in its body. The
yes, ma'am.
solution will turn the solution will turn green, okay? But there will be also something, na? Brown deposit, brown deposit on the nail. Can you see this?
No, ma'am.
Acha, can you see this? This one, see? Little red on the
Yes,
nail. So what is this? This is actually the brown deposit of the copper. So since we have taken a copper sulfate solution, okay? So the copper sulfate solution reacted with the iron. On reaction, what it formed? It formed iron sulfate solution, which is green, right? And also, this iron nail has got some brown deposit, which is copper. Understood? Because you see, here co- iron sulfate is forming along with copper, right? So that copper, where it will be deposited? It will be deposited in the body of the nail. Understood?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, is it the formula in down what is written?
Yes,
This
it is the formula. Copper sulfate reacting with iron give us FeSO4, which is iron sulfate and copper. Okay. So, hence, chemical reactions are also called chemical changes when one or more substances are formed because new substances are getting formed. right? In addition to new products, the following may accompany a chemical change: heat, light, sound. For example, the burning of cracker produces light and sound. Okay, so I'm telling you now that new product will form. So the new product can be heat, the new product can be light, the new product can be sound. Okay, understood? Because why we use firecracker? We use firecracker for the good light. Okay, some boys used firecrackers so that they have very heavy sound, right? So what they are producing a chemical change. The sound cannot be reversed. The light will be cannot be reversed, right? It is a permanent change. Now, did you have any idea about neutralization, Ayushi? What is neutralization? Ayushi, do you know what is neutralization? We have read in the last class, remember?
Ma'am, neutralization is in the chapter acid, base, and salt.
Yes, yes. So we have read in the last class, right?
Yes,
So what is neutralization reaction? When an acid reacts with a base, it forms what it forms?
ma'am, water. Sorry, ma'am,
Water
salt.
and salt and water. Understood? For example, hydrochloric acid is reacting with NaOH. NaOH means sodium hydroxide. It gives us sodium chloride and water. So this is also a chemical change, okay? Because we cannot get back the acid and base again from the salt and water. Okay? Now in photosynthesis is also a chemical change. Okay? Why photosynthesis is a chemical change? Can you read out, Aishi?
Ma'am, photosynthesis is the process through which plants convert light energy into chemical energy. It involves a chemical reaction in which water combines with carbon dioxide to produce glucose and oxygen. Since in this process, new chemical spices are produced, so it is classified as a chemical change.
Okay, what did you understand?
Means photosynthesis is the process that that convert light into chemical energy, and uh, with the help of carbon dioxide, it
Hmm.
produces glucose and oxygen,
Hmm.
uh, and
Okay, হচ্ছে. Try it. So that's why this process is called chemical change, right? Because it is a permanent change. Glucose and oxygen cannot be reversed, right? So that glucose, it is used by the plant, okay? And oxygen, it is used by us, right? So photosynthesis is very necessary for human beings to live, right? Because it is the only process that gives us oxygen naturally, right? Okay. Now we are going to learn about rusting of iron. You have seen, right? Rusting of iron. The irons are getting brown in color, right? So it is the process of formation of a brown layer on iron substance when exposed to moist air. So if you are keeping it outside, that time it will happen, which contains oxygen and water. A brown flaky layer is formed on their surface. The brown layer of iron is hydrated iron oxide or rust. So what does it mean? It means that when you are keeping a iron substance in exposed to oxygen and water, what happens? In that iron substance, a brown layer is formed. Okay, so what we call the brown layer? We call it as hydrated iron oxide, or in short term, we call rusting or rust of iron. Understood, Aishi?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, can you read this one?
It is a chemical and irreversible change. The process of rusting can be represented by the following chemical equation: Fe plus O2 plus HO2, H2O equals to Fe2O3x H2O rust. The two essential conditions for rusting on iron objects are water, moisture, and oxygen. It is a corrosive process that occurs easily under natural conditions. Iron kept in dry and non-humid air cannot undergo rusting. Rusting is an undesirable change because it damages iron and steel objects and slowly destroys them.
Okay, can you explain me, Ayushi, what did you understood from this one?
No, I can't understand.
Okay. Okay. So Ayushi, it is telling that in the formation of rust, two components are very essential. What are those? These are moisture. Moisture means, when we say moisture, do you have any idea what you mean by moisture? Hmm?
No,
Moisture means in the air when the water vapor quantity is more. Okay? Because air has water vapor, right? So in the air, when the water vapor quantity is more, we say that the air is more moisture. Okay. So for rusting process, it is very essential to have oxygen and air and water. So what is mainly required? So when you keep something outside your home, what happens? It receives rain, right? It receives water. It receives moisture from the air. It receives oxygen, right? Because you have not taken care of it. So what happened is that slowly, day by day, rusting forms like this. First, the iron was very shiny in color. After 2-3 months, you will see that it has turned like this browny layers. So what are these browny layers? These browny layers are hydrated iron oxide. So hydrated means what? Hydrated means it contains water. Okay. Hydrated, wherever you will see hydrated is written, hydrated means it consists of water molecules. Okay. So slowly, what will happen? It will rust, and this is a corrosive process. What do you mean by corrosive process? So once it started rusting, it will slowly lose its property day by day. So the iron will get weak day by day. Understood? So we cannot use it again for any purposes. Okay, because rusting is an undesirable process, because we do not want this process. Why? Because it damages the iron and also it destroys them slowly. So if it damages it, we cannot further use it for anything, right? Understood? Understood, Ayushi?
Ma'am, your voice is
No, no, I'm telling, did you understood, Ayushi?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you will say rusting. What do you mean by rusting? Rusting is an undesirable change because it damages iron and steel objects and slowly destroys them. So can you tell me rusting is a good process or a bad process? Ayushi, rusting is good or rusting is bad?
Good.
No, rusting is not good. Why rusting is good? Rusting destroys the iron, it destroys the steel. We cannot use them. এরকম যদি জং ধরে যায়, can we use them? We cannot use them, so we do not want rusting. Understood? So rusting is not a good process. So that's why we call it, it is an undesirable change. Undesirable change means it is an extra change. We do not want this change to happen to iron because it destroys it and we cannot use it. So it is a loss of money. Understood? Now, how we can prevent rusting? So in order to prevent rusting, you have to grease the iron surface with oil. Grease means you have no greasing, you know grease or oil. Ayushi, do you know about grease and oil?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So grease and oil, these are lubricating materials. Okay. Lubricating materials means অনেক সময় কি হয় জানো তো, অনেক মেশিনস হয়তো কাজ করা বন্ধ করে দিচ্ছে, খুব স্লোলি কাজ করছে, স্পেশালি বাইকস, কার্স। ওকে, যাতে মেশিনটা ভালো করে কাজ করে, what we use grease and oil. Understood? Similarly, whenever in order to protect the iron from rusting, what we do? We cover the iron surface with grease and oil. Understood? So that the air moisture could not affect the surface of the iron. And also we know by painting the surface of iron articles. So we can paint also in order to, okay Ayushi, by painting the surface of iron articles. Okay, now you can read this point. Ayushi, please read the point.
The process, ma'am,
I'm
mute.
telling to read the process, Ayushi, like both the above methods from here till
Ma'am,
here.
ma'am, can you zoom the screen?
Okay, wait. Now can you see?
Yes, ma'am. Both the above methods cut off the contact of metal surface with air and moisture, thus preventing rusting. By coating iron with a layer of other metals,
Okay, read, continue.
the process of coating a thin layer of other metals which are more resistant to air and moisture like zinc or chromium on the surface of iron articles by passing electric current is called galvanization. In this process, iron or steel objects are dipped into heated containers of zinc. The zinc is in the molten form, usually kept at a very high temperature. Because of high temperatures, zinc gets deposited over the iron body. The protective coating of zinc prevents the reaction of iron with oxygen and water.
Okay, Ayushi. So point number three, from I'm starting with point number three. So since we learned about how we can prevent rusting, we can prevent rusting by oiling it or by greasing it. Also, we can prevent rusting by painting the iron surface. Now, why we are doing this both step? What is the need for this? Why? Because it prevents the what? It cut off the contact. Cut off means prevents the contact of metal surface with air and moisture, thus preventing rusting. Okay. Also, by coating iron with a layer of other metals. Now, above these two processes, there is a one more process that we call galvanization. So, what is galvanization? Galvanization is that by coating iron with a layer of other metal. Understood? Like we are coating nickel with iron. So after when you will go to higher class, you will learn what is galvanization. Now here is a summary. What is galvanization? So after greasing with oil, if we cannot prevent rusting, after painting also, if we cannot prevent rusting, we use this galvanization method. This is the most efficient method. Okay. Okay, so the process of coating of thin layer of other metal which are more resistant to air and moisture like zinc, chromium on the surface of iron particles by passing electric current to them. So which are the metals we will use? We will use zinc and we will use chromium in for the coating. Okay, so on the iron surface we will do the coating of zinc or we can do the coating of chromium. How we will do? We will do by passing electric current. Okay, I'm showing you one drawing if it is not given. Okay, so can you see this container, Bashopriya? Sorry, Ayushi. So here we are keeping the iron nails and here we are keeping nickel. Okay, this one is nickel. Ayushi, can you hear? This one is nickel and this one is iron. Okay, so on passing electric current with it, what happens? Slowly, the nickel gets deposited. Slowly, the nickel will get deposited to iron. Okay, it's like a coating. The nickel will get deposited to iron slowly. The more current you will pass, the more nickel will get coated on the iron. So, slowly, you will see that the iron got coated with nickel. And after that, if you keep it in exposed to moisture, if you keep it in exposed to water, it will not rust. Understood?
Yes.
Understood. The protective layer of zinc prevents the reaction of and oxygen, iron with oxygen and water. Understood? So this process, okay, we call it as electrolysis. In another word, we call it as electrolytic reaction. Electrolytic reaction. Okay. In your book, it is given, Ayushi, but this process, galvanization, in your book,
Yes.
it is given. I'm telling in your book, galvanization process is given.
Ma'am, I have not opened the book now. I am saying
Okay. If you got the book, you will see that the galvanization is given or not.
graduation is there.
There, na? So you will also see this process is written. In exam, it will come. What is galvanization? So that time you have to write this point. The process of coating of a thin layer of other metals which are more resistant to air and moisture like zinc or chromium on the surface of iron article by passing electric current through it is called galvanization. Now if they ask what does the process include, then you have to mention this. Okay. You have to do the drawing also in your book. Drawing is given. Hmm? Drawing কি দেওয়া আছে বইতে? একটু চেক করো। Ayushi, drawing is given.
Ma'am, I
Ayushi, am
can't.
I audible? I'm telling in galvanization, the drawing is given, or they just explain the definition.
Ma'am, as I have told you that I have not opened the book.
Okay, after if you see this, you will just see if there is the drawing is given or not. Okay. Now we are going to learn about what is crystallization. So, what is crystallization? The process of obtaining pure substance from their saturated solution is called crystallization. Now you will say what are crystallized substance? Substance like sugar, salt, urea, copper sulfate, they can be obtained by crystallization. Did you heard of the process crystallization, Ayushi? Acha, did you heard of the term crystal?
Ma'am, I heard crystal.
Okay. So actually crystallization, it is a process. Okay. Like in day-to-day life, we use crystals. Okay. Like not the crystal that we wear for the jewelry. Okay, there are substances which are obtained from crystallization. It is a process. Okay, can you see this drawing? Can you see the image? You see that they have taken a saturated solution, okay? And now they are heating it, okay? After heating it, what will form? It will form a new substance since it is a chemical change. And from that saturated solution, we will get some pure substances like sugar, salt, urea, copper sulfate. Understood? You will just see in your book crystallization is given or not because I think it is given. Okay, you will just check once more. Okay, crystallization is an example of chemical change because sorry physical change because it is reversible and involves only changes in shape and size. For example, the copper sulfate is a blue colored crystal that is obtained by heating the aqueous solution of copper sulfate. So, what do you mean by this? Actually, if we take copper sulfate, okay, and we heat it, what we will get? If we heat copper sulfate solution, you have any idea what we will get? Acha, we will get we will get blue color crystal of copper sulfate. We will get blue color crystal of copper sulfate. Again, if we heat that thing, we will again get aqueous solution of copper sulfate. Understood? Ayushi? বুঝতে না পারলে আমাকে বলো, I will explain again. But if you were not understanding, how will I know? Ayushi,
Yes.
did you understood what I'm trying to explain?
Uh, um,
Hmm? Okay, I'm explaining you again. What is happening? Suppose, আমি তোমাকে একটা example. Suppose তুমি একটা বাটিতে sugar solution নিয়েছো, ঠিক আছে? Sugar solution. Okay? Now you have heated it. Heat করলে কি হবে? Water will evaporate and sugar crystal will left behind. Pure sugar crystals will left behind, right? Understood? So this process is only called crystallization when you are using a substance which is obtained and again আবার তুমি যখন এই সুগারটাকে কি করবে আবার যখন তুমি মেল্ট করবে তখন কি হয়ে যাবে তখন ওটা আবার সলিউশন হয়ে যাবে আবার তুমি যখন হিট করবে হিট করলে আবার ওটা ক্রিস্টাল হয়ে যাবে আবার যখন তুমি ওটাকে ক্রিস্টালটাকে আবার হিট করবে তখন আবার অ্যাকোয়াস সলিউশন হবে আন্ডারস্টুড সলিউশন থেকে ক্রিস্টাল হবে ক্রিস্টাল থেকে সলিউশন হবে আন্ডারস্টুড সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই উই কল ইট অ্যাজ আ ফিজিক্যাল চেঞ্জ বারবার হতে থাকবে সল্ট ক্রিস্টাল থেকে সলিউশন সলিউশনস থেকে ক্রিস্টাল ওকে আন্ডারস্টুড আয়ুষী
yes, ma'am. Now,
ওকে ক্যান আই ask some questions হুম questions জিজ্ঞেস করি because the chapter has ended now. Are you ready?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, you are in app, right? So I have attached an assignment. If you have time, kindly do this, okay, Ayushi? Okay. Wait. Um, can you wait? Just wait 1 minute. Can you see? Can you see this? Can you see a Word document, Ayushi? I think you can't.
Ma'am, wait.
Wait, I'm doing this. Can you see this Word document, Ayushi? Ayushi, am I audible? Okay. Tell me the answer question number one answer, Ayushi. What is the answer of question number one?
Ma'am,
What will be the
ma'am,
answer? Very
just
easy.
melting of iron, natural physical change, and changing of water.
Hmm?
Ma'am, I think option B.
Option B, rusting of iron. Very good. Correct. Now, physical changes are which one? Hmm? Question number
Ma'am,
2.
reversible.
Yes, good. Question number 3. Question number 3.
Ma'am, option A.
Option A. Very good. Question number 4. What is the symbol for sodium?
Ma'am, Fe.
No, no, no. Fe is for iron.
Ma'am, then S.
No. S is for sulfur.
अच्छा
K
मैम
is for potassium.
N है ना.
Yes, Na means sodium. Very good. Now, quickly do this. Quickly solve this, match the following.
Ma'am,
Freezing
I
of
will tell
water.
you.
Yes, yes. Freezing of water is a
Ma'am, permanent change.
no.
Ma'am, reversible change.
Yes, reversible change. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
Ma'am, photosynthesis is a chemical change.
Okay. Rusting of iron.
Uh, permanent change.
Okay. Burning of coal.
Ma'am, irreversible change.
Okay. And changes of season.
अच्छा ma'am.
Changes of season.
Ma'am, periodic change.
Yes, very good. So Ayushi, till today, this much only. Okay. Now, do you have any doubt regarding this? Tell me.
Ma'am,
I'm again sharing you the PPT. Just tell me if you have any doubt because since you are only present today, so I cannot explain you everything today. So you tell me what are the doubts you're having today. Since you joined the class, it's my responsibility to explain you. So tell me, can you see the PDF?
yes ma'am. Up to here, no
Okay.
doubt.
Okay. I'm again sharing from the previous. Tell me, do you have any doubt in physical and chemical change? The processes of chemical change and rusting of iron and the process to prevent rusting and what is galvanization and what is crystallization?
No.
No doubt. Okay. So next class, which chapter you want me to teach? Because you are telling that you are only having physical change and acid, bases, and salt. Except
Yes,
that there is any more chapter.
ma'am, in chemistry, no.
So can we have a revision test the next class regarding this two chapter? A
Yes,
short revision test on acid, bases, and salt and physical change and chemical change. No problem.
okay ma'am.
Okay. So be prepared. Okay. Whatever you have learned in these two classes, be prepared. We will have a short revision test on this. Okay. Okay. Bye, Ayushi. Good night. Sweet dreams. Take care. Okay. See you
Ma'am,
in the next class.